This channel does not promote or encourage any illegal activities. All contents provided by this channel is meant for educational purpose only.
So hello everyone, welcome back to another video of our channel. In this video we'll be taking a look on API exploitations. So in this particular video we'll be taking a look on how to find API keys in a web app, how to find API keys in a Android apps, and we'll be also taking a look on how to exploit them, when what case you need to report them. So let's get into the video. But before going into the video, we would like to announce few things here. We are having 2 new batches. We are having the advanced batch 3. Registration are closed. As you guys can see that we are having the date exceeded. We got the batch full. But we are having one more batch. We are having the beginner bug bounty batch 11. And in this batch you can get bug bounty from scratch to the maximum level you can. And you will also learn a lot of things in it. The contents are here. Rather than this course, we are having few recorded courses. As you guys can see, all the courses here. All the links are in description, so make sure to check it out, and let's go into the video. So here we are on my computer screen now. So first of all, we'll be taking a look on few things here. So I have wrote all the few things that we're gonna take a look on. So in API exploitation guide, we'll be taking a look on how to exploit API keys, how to find them first of all, and when to report them. So there is a main doubt that right, you might be able to find API keys during the recon process, right? I'm not gonna say that you need to use tools for it, but when you're talking about gathering information about a web app, then definitely you should take a look on all the resources, or I will say all the available let's say visual processes that you can do. Suppose you are able to open the view source page, just check out for APIs. You found a lot of JS files, check for APIs. You got a lot of, let's say, uh, different domains, take a look on API keys. You can use a lot of extensions, maybe a lot of tools, maybe a lot of web app or web hosted things to find APIs in a website. So when you are able to find the API keys, you need to exploit it. There is no use of a API key itself. You definitely need to exploit it. And first of all, let me note a thing. When you are able to find the Google APIs, in today's case, the Google will refund in any sort of exploitation of the API. So there is no need to report that sort of API exploitation. So I have a lot of things here to take a look on. So as you guys can see that I am on the main thing, the payload of all things API leaks guide here. As you guys can see that I am on this particular place where I can find a lot of API keys and all these guides. But you can see the tools and exploits. You can use this tools, the key finder by Mom and Base. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right or wrong, but you can use this one. It's a tool to let you find API keys while surfing the website. You can just definitely take a look on. It's opening. What is Key Finder? It's a Chrome extension that searches for DOM or for any embedded script playing. So what's DOM? Document Object Model is a DOM. If you don't know the full form in case. Now, it searches for DOM for SRC or the scripts, right? And see if it contains any words such as keys, and it will grab all the parameters that contain KEYS keys and save them, and it works in the background. Absolutely, that's a very important thing for it. So its installation is very simple. Copy this thing, open Chrome, go to this location, or simply go to your settings and find extensions, enable the developer mode, drag and drop the key finder folder. That's very simple. It's simple as that. Absolutely, you can see the tutorials here, right? And if you have seen the particular must extension video before this video, then definitely you know that which are the tools and which are the special extension that you can use to find bugs very easily. By just using extension, you can find bugs, and that's not a myth, it's a truth. You can definitely take a look on that. So that's a very basic thing. You can find all the keys. You can simply cross check all of them with the API keys, just replacing the keys with that, and you will find it. And also, the main thing that you can do is the visual recon for it. You can simply take a look on the websites, web apps for a lot of important things, like let's say you can take a look for the JS files. As I already said, you can use JS Finder for it to get all the JS and all these things. And hopefully I'll be making a tool by the release of this video. You can check the link in the description where you will be saying that you will get a proper tool which will find all the JS files for you. Then it will just do a very important thing, which is scraping all those files then it will be taking a look, and then, like, you can say that it will export all the important information, let's say keys, IDs, secrets, username, password, credentials, if they are having some internal link, backlinks, directory locations, and all these things. So definitely take a look on it. Hopefully the video will be launched. By the launch of this video, you will get the tool link in the description now. And the tool link is not in the description. Wait for it. Within a week you will get the tool soon. Now, other than this, I have few more tools. Like, it's a bit particular thing for awesome API security tools and resources. It's the set of resources that you really need for the pen testing of API keys. So this is the thing: API guess, a simple website to guess API key. That's a very important thing. Just open this thing, paste your API key, and it will just show you. Uh, it will just show you all the details about the API key. So I'm not having any particular specific API key here to test, but in this case, it will be showing you whenever you enter the API key, it will give you exploits. It will just show all of the details about it. So I will be mentioning this link in the description. So make sure you check this out. Then API key leaks and tools. Right, so it's from Swiss Key Repo. You guys can see that it's the main same thing we are having here. The key checker, Go script for checking API keys and access token validity. That's a very important thing when it comes to the API pen testing. It's a Go tool. You can simply install it by this thing. Go get or go install, and it will check for all the things if they are able to access it, if we are able to exploit them, and all these things. So this will definitely use it. It will just check for its access token validity or API key validities. So you should definitely take a look on this. It has been archived by the owner, so it's only read only. It's on read only. So yeah, I can see this. Now we got key hacks. We'll be taking a look on it deeply after this particular session. And this thing, driftwood. Okay, so it's a tool that can enable you to look up whether a private key is used for things like TLS or as a GitHub as such key for a user, right? It performs lookup and computes a public key, so the private key never leaks while you run the tool. And additionally, it supports some basic password cracking for encrypted keys. So you can definitely take a look on it. It's very easy to install. You can simply just download it like with the Go, and it will be very easy for you to use this thing. Now, let's take a look on other things. These are the resources that you really need to, like, you can say that they are the must have resources for API keys and all those things. These are the books, these are the cheat sheets. Definitely I would suggest that they check all these cheat sheets. Like, around there are only like 7 cheat sheets here. Take a look on them. You won't regret taking a look on them. There's a lot of resources. Let's say the OWASP one and the GraphQL one. Just take a look here. It is just around 3 pages, but it is having a lot of important things here. You'll get the basic ideas of all these things. API security top 10, right? The broken object level authorization, excessive data exposure, broken authentication, lack of resources and rate limiting, broken function level authorization, security misconfiguration, injections, mask assignments, right? So you'll get all this data. Just read it. GraphQL. So it's a GraphQL cheat sheet of all the APIs exploitations, as you guys can see this thing here, right? Now, before going forward in the video, I would really like to tell that spend some time on learning by yourself. It's not about just having some sort of videos and all these things. Take a look on it. Uh, I have seen a lot of cases. I have faced a lot of cases in which I have found some sort of API key, and when you just saw a video to exploit it, you will get the exploit. That's not the wrong thing. You will get the exploit for it, how to exploit the key and all these things. But when you try to read the documentation, when you try to research about the API key by yourself, you will see that you are able to get all the details. Like, you can say that you are having a very deep knowledge about the API key. So you can just exploit this in your own way. You can try to leverage the impacts. You can try to leverage the exploitation to some sort of other bugs, right? So definitely take a look on it. Always try to learn about API as much as you can before trying to exploit it, and research. Like, have a clean research on your own about multiple things. Don't stop learning. Be consistent on it. If you're just, I have showed you 7 cheat sheets here. Take a look on all of them. You won't regret taking a look on them. You will find a lot of important research, important things about them. It's not just like a set of paragraphs. It is having a lot of information that you can find in multiple videos. So make sure to check all the resources mentioned in it. Now, these are the few checklists. Obviously, as I said, kindly check it. It's the conference one. The first conference dedicated to API threat management. Then the vulnerable APIs here, right? You can check or test for it, like the DSPH and the Node API GOAT. Then the desktops, and you can say that the root task. It's here. A VAPI is a vulnerable advertised programmed interface, which is self-hostable API that mimics OWASP API top 10 scenarios. So I'll be making a complete API pen testing course in the upcoming video. So make sure to check out this thing. I'll be using one of these things. So definitely take a look on all of them. I'll be making a very practical course on APIs. Now these are all the other resources that you need to check out. Now I will definitely suggest that to check this particular GitHub repo for it. So we will be learning a lot of resources, or I can say that you can master the API security halfway there, because you need to definitely do all these things practically by yourself to master it properly. So if you're into the Android APK hunting, then you should definitely take a look on this API key extractor here. So it extract API key from APK Android packages files. Its usage is very simple. You can see this installation is this simple as that, and you can simply run this thing. Just give the location of APK and high double hyphen analyze APK. It will do all these things. If you're having a folder, you can use this thing. But definitely, it can find a lot of API keys from APK, so you can try to do this thing. I'm not having that much experience into the Android pen testing as of for now, so I am having a lot of recommendation to show this thing in a video. So here it is. Now, I was talking about something called key hacks. So here it is. So suppose you are having the API guesser that we have seen in the video. First of all, the API guesser where you are able to find the particular API, and it will just identify the API in some sort of functions. Right. So you are able to find the API key. You have identified the API key. Now how to exploit it? You need a practical scenario. So I will definitely say that the key hacks dot have helped me a lot. There is one more version of the key hacks. Let's say key hacks GitHub. Right. So there is a key hacks.sh. Its tagline is simple. It's really very simple. Automated testing for APIs, right? Or the tokens. You can see this thing. So you just need to do this thing, ex.sh, mode and secret. So you just have to just enter your particular API key like this, and it will exploit it and show you all the data, right? But we need to understand the manual process before doing this thing. So you use the suppositive the API guesser for guessing the particular API key identity. And when you're able to find the identity, you just use the following commands in the simple things. But as I mentioned, you need to read the documentation, you need to read the blogs, you need to understand the usage of the particular API key. And when you're done with these three steps, right, you will be able to leverage the exploitation, the impact by your own. So make sure you read the documentation, and if you are in hurry, you really want to exploit the API key, or you are unable to understand anything about the API key, then you can go with the key hacks. So suppose I got some sort of API key of, let's say, Firebase. I'm having any Firebase API key. So I'll be definitely doing this exact step here. I'll be running this command here, the curl and all these commands, and I just have to replace the particular token here. So what's the best thing about the key hacks is very simple. You get the whole command ready. You just have to replace the particular API key thing with your original API key, and you will get the exploitation. Okay. So you can see this thing. A lot of these are having their own responses, so you will get this thing. Suppose you are trying to exploit the square thing, so you just need to replace all these details asked here, right? So when you are having the valid credentials, you will get this sort of thing. So you have found a valid credential leakage via whatever source you are having. Maybe it's a JS file, maybe it's sort of source code, whatever it is. You have found the valid credentials. But when you are having invalid credentials, you will get this error, right? So in that particular cases, the key hex is very useful for exploiting anything. Now, when you're able to or unable to do all these things by yourself, you can simply use the key X.sh. It will do the same thing for you. You don't have to just, I can say that you don't have to worry that a lot of things. It will do all these things for yourself in a very easy way. So you can be very sure about it. You can use this A key X.sh. And also, so I have mentioned a few API keys POCs, so you can just take a look on them, how I exploited them, how you can get your bounties. I attached a few screenshots and all those things to check it out. So those were the POCs you have seen. Like I have used the key expert SS in multiple cases to find the credential disclosures, confirm them, and in all those purposes. So that was for the video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out all the links mentioned in the description, and see you guys in the next video.